Hello and welcome to my video on the Lecomte Stakes at Fairgrounds. It's on Saturday and it's part of the Derby Trail. Trainer Brad Cox has a couple of entries in this race. I wanted to look at one in particular named Ethan Energy. Now, Ethan Energy is only a maiden winner, but he won by 5 1/4 lengths. And the impressive part is that he overcame slow fractions to get the job done. You can see here the fractions were 24 and 48 and 113 and change. And it was the same distance, a mile and 1/16, same track, Fairgrounds. Now, Ethan Energy was in the stalking position, or maybe mid-pack. He was fifth and 3.5 lengths behind at the first call, and then he was fourth, and then he took over the lead, and then he opened up in the stretch. He opened up in the stretch to win by 5 1/4 lengths. And again, he had to overcome those fractions. We will look at it on video, because sometimes when you see a race on video, it looks different than how you would envision it on paper. So I have it set up here on Twitter. And you can see here, Ethan Energy is in the yellow, or his jockey Florent Garreau is in the yellow. And El Magnifico is right up there next to the leader, and Phantom Speed is right behind El Magnifico, and he's going to try to move up along with El Magnifico on a turn. Now, El Magnifico moves up against the pace setter, and he takes over the lead for a brief moment in time. Phantom Speed is right there, and he tries to move up as well. Ethan Energy just moves up beside both of them, and he just swallows up El Magnifico in the stretch run. Garreau does ask him. He does use his whip a couple of times, but once he's in mid-stretch, Ethan Energy is doing it on his own. He's just being hand-ridden at this point. And he switches leads pretty well. He's moving well. And he's drawing clear Phantom Speed and El Magnifico in the stretch. Again, he wins by 5 1/4 lengths. So I thought it was an impressive win. It's not just the winning margin, it's the fact that he overcame those slow fractions, 24 and 48. And his time was not that far off of the Gunrunner. The Gunrunner Stakes was on the same card, and Ethan Energy's time was 1:44 and 4. Now, he could have gone faster. He really wasted time lagging behind 24 and 48 fractions, so he could have gone faster than 1:44. How much faster, I'm not sure. Let's talk about the horses from the Gunrunner Stakes. Now, Nash ran third in that race. He was a stalker in the Gunrunner, but it's notable that he was a pace setter when he broke his maiden by 10 lengths at Churchill Downs, so it's possible that Cox will want to switch tactics and send him to the lead instead. And we're also going to talk about Track Phantom, who won the Gunrunner Stakes after pressing the leader. And the fractions were radically different than in the Ethan Energy maiden race. In the Gunrunner, they went in 23 and 3 and 46 and 4 and 112. So they were moving pretty fast, and Track Phantom was right up against the leader Next Level, who was also in this race. And Next Level could get sent again because he drew the rail. Now, let's take a look at the Gunrunner really quick, just to see if we see anything different than what we envisioned on paper. You see there, Next Level's on the rail. Track Phantom is pressing him on the outside. You see Nash is in the stalking position right there in fourth. And you also see Snead is right there a few lengths behind them. Snead is not in the Lecomte, but he's going to roll up on the outside, and he's going to pose a big threat to Track Phantom on the lead. Now, Track Phantom should have been softened up by those fractions, 23 and 46, but for some reason he keeps finding more in the stretch. You would have thought that Snead would have swallowed him up after those fractions, but Track Phantom keeps finding more. He is being asked, but the fact that he put away the pace setter Next Level, and he endured those fractions, and he's still finding more than Snead and Nash in the stretch run, is impressive to me. I don't care about the margin. It was just elected a quarter. He has good early speed. He's able to endure a fast pace. He has a good jockey on him, Joel Rosario, Steve Asmussen trains. I worry though that Nash would get sent to the lead this time, and if Track Phantom has to press Nash on the lead, it might be harder to put him away compared to putting away Next Level. Next Level could get sent to the lead too. It's unclear, but he is on the rail, and typically horses show more speed on the rail because the jockey wants to get them in a good position. So next level could be on the lead, Dash could be on the lead, and the pace could be faster, or not faster, but maybe just as fast as the Gunrunner. 23 and 46 are fast factors for about 1/16th at Fairgrounds, and Track Phantom might have a harder time putting away a good horse like Nash and still having the energy to hold off a closer such as Ethan Energy. I just think Ethan Energy is going to move forward here. He won his maiden race by 5 1/4 lengths. The speed figure was not better than Nash or Track Phantom, but it's not that far off, and I think he could improve on that. And again, if he has pace in front of him, I would think he would do better because he almost got the same time as the Gunrunner Stakes with his 144 and 4/5 right here. Track Phantom, it says here, he won the Gunrunner in 144.2. Ethan Energy was not that far off. He is my top choice, and 4-1 sounds fair to me. Now, Latlog is the last horse I'm going to talk about. He broke his maiden by 2 1/4 lengths at Oaklawn Park on December 17. He was a presser in this race. It's hard to predict what he's going to do because sometimes he's a presser, sometimes he's a closer. He was a closer in a November 25 maiden race at Churchill Downs. And in that race, he finished second to Track Phantom by 4 3/4 lengths. So even though the margin was a little over 4 legs, I'm not going to knock him too hard for not making the margin closer. Now, he does face Track Phantom again, but it depends on what Latlog does. If Latlog is a closer or a stalker, he might be able to take advantage of the pace. But if Latlog is set up with the other leaders, he might get too tired in the stretch run. I do think he's improving. I think there's more to Latlog, but I'm just going to use him underneath. My top choice is Ethan Energy, and Nash and Track Phantom and Latlog will be my horses to use underneath if I play a trifecta. Thanks for watching my video on the Lecomte. Good luck to everyone making their bets, and I'll see you guys another week.